The purpose of this video is to show you how, guys, how we're gonna keep track of our warehouse inventory in the file makers system that we have. Okay, so the first thing you have to decide is which products you want to keep track of. Okay, and you would do that from the vendor products layout. There is a field at the bottom that says track inventory, yes or no. Okay, before I click yes and start showing you that, I want to show you the other layout that's actually going to show you the quantity of items in the warehouse. Okay, so that's under inventory and POs. You should see the new button called inventory tracking. You click that and it takes you to a layout called current inventory in warehouse. Okay, and it says I haven't selected any items to track, it's currently empty. Okay, so let's go and start tracking some items. Okay, so let's go ahead and edit the vendor products. And for the purpose of this video, I have picked 3 products. One is Noble's white cement. There's also, I picked a tile from Masters. And then I also picked SCP's white cement. Okay, and the reason I picked the 2 white cements is because I want to show you the scenario where multiple items which are equivalent to us come from different vendors. Okay, and that's the purpose of the inventory name field here, to sort of group them together, and you'll see how that works in the in this new layout that I have created. Okay, so let's start tracking items. So let's see, I want to track the white cement from SCP. I want to click yes on that, and as you can see, it shows up on this new layout. Let's track the tile. So there it goes, and then the other white cement from Noble. I click yes. Okay, and as you can see, the 2 white cements are grouped together. This is the amount of the current inventory, which is 0, and then the top number would be the combined count of both of those 2 items. Okay, and you can see that it says Cemento Blanco. So these two items are grouped under Cemento Blanco, and the link is this inventory name that is that causes that grouping together. So you would actually use this for items that are that come from multiple vendors but are equivalent in our inventory. So, pebble, white pebble comes to mind, black pebble, all the pebbles, maybe some quartz, that sort of stuff. For tiles, as you can see, I didn't put anything because each vendor has his unique suppliers for tile, and that would be pretty difficult to keep track of all those. Anyways, all right, let's move on. Okay, I also want to show you what happens when you click that you decide I don't want to keep track of this item anymore. So you say, no, I don't want to track this white cement. It's going to ask you, are you sure you want to remove it? Let's say you click yes. So it takes it out. Okay, and it removes any inventory history that you had, just so that you are aware of that. Okay, so for the purpose of this video, I'm going to add it back on so we can play with it. Okay, so it shows back over here. Okay, so let's say that you have decided which items you want to keep track of, right? So you have your list here. The next step is decide an interval, or how often you want to count the items in the warehouse, so you can do a hard count of the quantities that you have. So for example, let's say that today is that day, and you go through your inventory and you count that there is 10 square feet of tile for this product. You click on the purple box here and you say I counted 10 square feet. It's going to ask you to confirm. You say yes. Okay, so now the number of of items in the inventory is 10. The box is clear, so you can modify it if you need to. And then it records the last time you did the inventory. For this case, is today. Okay, so let's do the white cement now. Let's say that you counted 200 items in the inventory. I would write it down on the one that you're currently ordering from. So I would, let's say for this case, I'm gonna order it from, I've been ordering from National, so I'm gonna put 200 in there, okay? And say yes. And also I'm gonna put 10 from on the Noble one. Let's assume that there were 10 left over from a previous order. Uh, and I just wanna show you, because I wanna show you how it counts products from two different vendors, okay? So it individually keeps count of how many there are for each product, but then it sort of groups it together under Cemento Blanco as 210, okay? So that's how you would know how much Cemento Blanco you actually have in the warehouse, okay? Um, okay, so the next step would be, so you already counted the number of items you have in inventory. Now, in between now and the next time you do inventory, there are things that you can do within the system that impact the quantities of items that you have. There is, when you give entry to inventory, it adds to the quantity. When you give an exit, or salidas as we call it, you reduce the amount of inventory. All right, so let's go into those two windows and see how they impact the inventory count, okay? So I'm going to use this window to go to entries. Okay, I'm going to wait a couple of seconds for it to load up. Okay, I'm going to minimize this a little bit so we can see that. Scoot over that way. Okay, so here we have this product, the Mass BB2, that we're currently tracking. There is an order that we placed for 65 square feet, and let's say that we received it, and I'm gonna mark it down that we received 65 of those items. Okay, so as you can see, the quantity has automatically updated to 75. Okay, the calculation will update once you refresh the screen, so don't worry about that as long as this is this set, that's correct. Okay. The other item I want to show you is the white cement. So there's a truckload that was ordered under PO for 560. Let's assume we received all of those. Boom, as you can see, the quantity has now updated to 760. All right. If you want to see this numbers update, you have to refresh the screen. So I'm going to do that real quick. And there's the the items, the calculation refreshed. Okay. Okay, so after giving entry to those two products, we can see the quantities have been updated. Now let's see how Salidas de Inventario affects the quality. Okay, y Salidas is a new layout that, that we just created. So let me show you how this works. You can select a date or a NA work crew to find the products you want to give out, or you can, if you know the PO number, you can just type it in here. I know the PO number for the tile we were looking at was 2751. Okay, and here is the list of items that are needed by that PO. In the blue box is where you would enter the material that is going out. And let me show you a couple of things here. For example, the first item doesn't have a blue box to enter items being taken out because that order was canceled. So that exiting that inventory is not possible. Okay. Now this order says, and then the gray box is how much he needs, not how much was ordered or how much was received. Okay, it's how much he needs. So he needs 65 uh, 65 square feet of tile. Okay, so I'm gonna say I'm gonna give you the 65 square feet of tile. Okay, when you do that, you notice that a green box appears. The green box is for items that he doesn't use and he gives you back. Okay, so this box will actually add to the inventory. So he let's say that he returns 10 square feet or wherever, you put 10 square feet there after he's done with that. Now you don't necessarily have to do this because let's say that next week when you count the inventory, you can you find the ones that he returned and you count them in that inventory update, or you can do it here. It works either way. I just want to give you that option. Okay, so now you enter 65 out, so therefore the inventory count should have been reduced back to 10. Okay, now you have to refresh the screen. So I'm gonna do that. So it's okay. There it is. 10. There's 10 items of tile in the inventory. Okay. Now let's go look at the other for Cemento Blanco. All right. So let's say that he needs 4. You give him 4. Okay. So now you have 756 items. If you refresh that, so there's -4 from that transaction there. So there's 766 of white cement in the inventory. Now I want to point out something about the large cement orders. For example, the PO where that order was received was 5794. Okay. Now you wouldn't, for large orders like this that are truckloads, you wouldn't actually give exits um, on this order, right? You would wait for them to appear individual work orders for them to give you exit, right? And also I wanted to show you that the blue box doesn't appear unless you have somebody assigned to it. Okay, so if nobody is assigned to a purchase order, then there's no way you can give that out. You have to tell it to who you're giving the material to. Okay, that's to keep track of who's getting the material. Okay, so that's how entries and exits work. Okay, now how does that actually help you knowing the quantity of material in the ordering layout? There is a little box that show you how much material you have. So too bad there's not an order for anything like that. So I'm gonna add one quick one here for on this work order. This is gonna be the guinea pig. Okay, so we're gonna add a 37 200 for white cement. Correct. And we need 200, and it was needed yesterday. Okay. I'm also gonna add the master, was it master 2, I believe, the tile. No, not that one. What the heck is going on? There it is. And we need 40 more. Okay. Test. Okay. So then we say what we need for today and tomorrow. And here it appears 5791. It says you have 10 tiles of that in the warehouse. So let's say maybe you just want to order 30. and you have 756 of white cement, so you don't really need to order that per se, just for this scenario's case. Okay, and that's how this system should work. If you have any questions, let me know.